All right, now we're back. Change that tag so people can find me. Can't find me. There we go. Number 7. I want to be number 1. On Ask Questions. I'll beat anybody on Ask Questions. Come on, hit me up. I dare you. I double dog dare you. Come on. Hit me with a good question. Anytime. I'll back up and stretch a minute. There we go. Hang on. I got doggies with me. Yes, I do. Doing a little bit of stretching on the floor this morning here. Let's see if we can also get some questions answered by anybody. Yes, sirree, Bob. Hang on. Let's even bring our camera down even a little bit more. That's the ticket. There we go. Careful. Hey, that's even better. And I have a live audience right here with me. Yes, sirree, Bob. Let me take this time to talk to you about these guys. Dogs, cats, pets in general. Anytime you take a dog or a cat into your home, that's a lifetime commitment. And for these guys, that can be 15, 20 years. Zachary here is 13, thereabouts. He could be even older. Zoe, I know, she's 12. I've had her for nearly 11 years, and she was about a year old when I got her from the pound. And Zeke is about 3 or 4 years old, and he's been with me for about 2.5 years now. Now these guys are with me for life. All of my animals have always been with me for life. I have had animals pass away in my arms of old age. Please, this holiday season, if you really are going to give somebody a puppy or a kitten for Christmas or Hanukkah, whatever, consider the animal first. Is the person that you're giving that puppy or kitten to going to be responsible for that animal, for that feeling, caring, emotional life form for 15 to 20 years? Medical care, dental care, feeding, cleaning, bathing, picking up every single poop that they do, no matter if it's in your yard or especially anywhere outside of your yard. Is the person who you are going to give this gift to, and they really are not presents, but they are gifts. These, as far as I'm concerned, they are a gift from humanity, teaching us how it is and what it is to truly care for another being, another life form outside of ourselves. These guys rely and count on me the exact same way my children counted on me. When my eldest was 2-3 years old, he had the exact same temperament. And as he got a little older, like these guys, he began learning words. So these guys understand language in the exact same place that we do. They process it in the left hemisphere of the brain. Active MRIs have shown that. So, and we already know anybody who spent any time with a dog or a cat knows they have emotions, they have feelings. You can't just treat them like they're something that you can give as a gift or present that's easily returnable. So anyhow, I'm here to answer questions. Any questions. I can answer questions on personal training, losing weight, quitting smoking. You got a question going on with what's going on in current affairs? Hit me up. I stay on top of pretty much everything. As a health coach, my scope of practice is much broader than just as a personal trainer. As a personal trainer, I can help you get in shape. I can help you lose weight, although that's not really a specialty of a personal trainer. It is part of our scope of practice. But as a health coach, I will cover everything and do for my clients. We'll discuss nutrition, We'll discuss spiritual things. Everybody has that little part in them that requires that touch. And I'm not talking religion necessarily, but if something that fits and works for you, if it's Christian, Judaism, Muslim, doesn't really matter. I've been a practicing Zen Buddhist for 10 years, although I don't practice really hard. The objective there is to keep a balance. And that is a presentation I'm currently working on and may turn into a book, Staying Balanced in an Unbalanced World. And right now we're in a very unbalanced world. In fact, our universe was created unbalanced. We wouldn't be here if there wasn't for just a slight difference in matter between the matter and the antimatter. If when the universe was created in the Big Bang, if that's truly what created it, there are new hypotheses on that in the membrane world. But when the universe was created, it was just a little tiny bit more matter than antimatter. Because when they meet, they annihilate each other. Matter and antimatter come together and that's it. So if the universe, when it was created, had been created perfectly, in other words, 50% matter, 50% antimatter, we would have gone out of existence as fast as we came into existence. And none of us would be here right now. But the positive matter that slightly outnumbered the antimatter, and it wasn't a great number. I mean, we're still talking, 50 point something to 49 point something as far as the difference. But that difference created everything that you physically see in the universe. Everything. Every star, every black hole, every piece of matter that you see is because the universe was created slightly imperfect. That means everything is based slightly imperfect. Their perfection in and of itself is not truly attainable. Not in this universe, because this universe was created slightly imperfect. We wouldn't be here otherwise. So, one of the chapters in Pushing Double Nickels, my book, talks about don't try to be perfect and try to please everyone, because that's not required. You're perfect just as you are. You do not need to improve to try and become perfect. Perfection is something that already exists within each and every one of us. Just realizing it, touching it, being it, understanding that you're perfect. Even with all of your flaws and imperfections, you're still perfect. So, again, the universe itself was created slightly imperfect, so you do not need to be perfect or try to please anyone. You're perfect as you are. There's always ways to improve. Naturally, physically, mentally, spiritually, we can all improve. But the bottom line is, you don't have to do anything more than what you are to be perfect as you are. Improvement, that's something that you can decide to do yourself. Don't let anybody else tell you you've got to be better at this or better at that, or you need to lose weight, or you need to quit smoking. Those are decisions that you make. So hit me up. Questions, anything. I don't care if it has to do with personal training, health coaching, current matters, current affairs, animals. Reminder, pets are not gifts. Do not put a kitten or puppy under a Christmas tree who's someone who's not expecting it. That's handing somebody a 15 to 20 year responsibility that if they're not ready for, that poor animal could wind up getting returned. And the last thing you want to do is have a gift that cries when you return it. Not a good thing. So, who's joined us? Let me pop up here and say hi to you guys. Any questions? I'm personal trainer and health coach Brad Fischel. Hit me up. Challenge me. What do you want to know? Anybody? Ask me something. I'm here for you. I wrote a 240-page book and published it with a whole bunch of stuff in it. So I think I have a few things I could talk about. 25 years in computers. How about going from 250 to 140 pounds? Quitting a 30-year cigarette habit? getting my type 2 diabetes under control. I can talk about that. How about just you want to watch me stretch? I got to finish my stretches before I go do my mileage today. Remember, personal trainers, our first client is ourselves. After all, who is going to hire a personal trainer who doesn't look the part? So, if anybody has any questions about losing weight, that's something I'm very good at. Naturally, not diet plans and not surgeries and wasting a whole lot of time on short-term fixes. You've got to create a long-term lifestyle change. Let me show you. Again, this, cover this up at least. This was me. 2004, 252 pounds. And this was me in 2010. Still 200 plus pounds, about 205 pounds in this one. And if anybody knows the organization, yes, that's where I was. Quick Start Intelligence for many years. Very good organization. You need computer training, that's the place to go. So, questions, you guys, hit me up. What do you want to know? Otherwise, I'm just going to continue my stretching because I have got to go do some miles here shortly. Make sure you guys get a good view. And remember, pets are not presents. All right, you can join me in some stretching if you want. I want to open up my hips, but first want to stretch the knees. This is a bit of a challenge. Now remember, any questions, hit me up and I will pop up and get a close look if anybody wants to ask me a question. I'm here for that as well. In the meantime, let's continue a little bit of warm up. I'm going to take my feet are together, my hands are on my knees. And I'm going to rotate to the left and then rotate to the right. There we go. Now, that's a real nice way to work your knees without putting them through a major. But you do have to keep your balance as you're doing this. All right, let's count it down from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. How about somebody ask me how I took off 110 pounds? That was 60 pounds ago. And that was 50 pounds that I'd already removed by that time. Or quit a 30-year cigarette habit. I smoked Camel filters for a good part of 30 years. And quit on the first try. Planning. How about questions on today's current events? I have predictions. I have real predictions. All right, we're going to go ahead and take the knees and rotate them to the right, and then I'm going to open up the hips. All right, again, feet together, hands on knees, and this time we're going the other way. Get it going, and then we'll count it down from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You want to see a old picture? Here's one you can. I'll take it off the wall for you. This was me, 1976. Fresh out of, this picture was taken at Camp Pendleton, MCRD. For those of you who know, there are two places where the Marines go through boot camp. On the west coast at Camp Pendleton, MCRD, Marine Corps Recruit Depot in San Diego. And then, of course, all the sand fleas come from Camp Lejeune. But you didn't hear me say that. But yeah, fresh-faced Marine. I had my dad sign me up at 17. Now, at that time, I weighed 135 when I came out of the Corps. That's a natural lightweight. By the time I blew up to 252 pounds, it was not a good thing. I had got hit with type 2 diabetes. Any of you out there have diabetes and have questions on diabetes? I will talk about type 2 diabetes and how to manage that as well. I can also talk to you about chronic back pain or chronic pain period. Also opioids. That is another thing that I'm an expert on, and opioid addiction is currently killing 150 of us every single day. However, and this really drives me crazy. 150 people a day are dying from opioid addiction, but 1,500 people a day, 10 times as many people a day, are dying because of this, obesity. My BMI was 38 when I was at my heaviest. Yeah, let's put it this way, I would not probably be standing here at age 58 as a personal trainer and health coach, just certified 3-4 years back now. But I wouldn't be standing here if I hadn't taken off 110 pounds and gotten rid of the cigarettes. Pack-a-day Camel filters didn't do me any good. And by the time they hit me with type 2 diabetes in 2005, my blood sugars were at the point where I was close to a diabetic coma. I had no idea what the heck was going on. I was so thirsty, and I couldn't quench my thirst. I was constantly drinking. And of course, at the time, I was still drinking sugared sodas. So that didn't help. Fruit juice, waters, I just couldn't get enough to drink. That was one of the first symptoms that showed up. Next, and this was prior to, I had laser eye surgery and had my eyes fixed 2006. But the year prior, 2005, my vision was actually improving. So my contact lenses and the glasses that I had, prescription glasses, weren't working. Went into my optometrist, and he told me that my vision had actually improved because of the pressure. And he said I needed to go talk to my doctor about being tested for type 2 diabetes. And that's when I found out that my blood sugars were somewhere in the 300 plus range. At that time, my A1C was probably up in the 8 range. On my last few tests, my A1C has been right around 6.1, 6.2. I'd like to get it down to 5.8, but that's just a goal I have personally. But ask me any questions that you might have. I don't care if it has to do with personal training, health coaching, nutrition. I can tell you right now, one of the worst products that you can put in your body is one of the things that is most prevalent on the store shelves. Nearly anything and everything that's packaged. It's what margarine is mostly made of, palm oil. It is one of the most insidious products on the planet. Right now, they're deforesting places like Indonesia and areas in South America so they can plant this stuff. It's very cheap. Unfortunately, palm oil, palm kernel oil, and all of the things that they call it, and there's a couple hundred names. Just Google all the names for palm oil and just Google that and see what comes up. There's a whole list. In fact, I don't know if I put it in the book or not, but if it's not, if you can't find it, just email me at pushingdoublenickels@yahoo.com or message me and I'll send you the link. But look on the labels. That's something I do. I do a PowerPoint presentation at health clubs and various places on reading nutrition labels so that you understand, based on the serving size, exactly what you're putting into your body as far as the fat, the saturated fat, trans fat, polyfats, the good fats, sodium levels, and overall calories. For people like me that used to have a weight problem, and I don't want to keep blocking this, for people like me that used to have a weight problem, and remember this was still 50 pounds after I'd already lost. This was 60 pounds ago. So for people like me that have a weight problem, it's like people that have a drinking problem. I will always like to eat. And I have not starved myself, and I eat whatever I want to eat. I do not deny myself anything. Like I eat ribs and burgers, and yeah, I hit Mickey D's too. But it's not a daily thing. And for me, I understand the numbers game. Yes, it's important what you put into your body as far as the quality of the food. But first, you've got to get the numbers right. It's a simple math procedure. Every 3,500 calories that you do not burn, that you consume, but you do not burn, either in exercise or just breathing. There's a certain number of calories that your body's automatically going to burn every day. Usually it's around 10% of your body weight. Every 3,500 calories that you consume, that go into your body, that you don't burn, turns into 1 pound of fat. Simple. So every week, if you put 3,500 calories more into your body than you burned off, then that can be 1 pound per week of weight you can gain. I blew up literally between 2003 and 2005. I went from probably 190, 195 up to 252 pounds. And I know it was diet. I can look back on it now. I'd go out for lunch, I'd get myself something to eat, and I'd stop at 2 different places. I'd get burgers, fries, and then I'd stop somewhere else for chicken this or chicken that, milkshake, and then take it back to my desk in the office, and I was in information technology, and eat it. And again, it's just a matter of numbers. Yes, again, it's important what you eat, but the quantity is what's going to make the biggest difference in whether or not you're losing weight or gaining weight or remaining where you are. And for losing weight, you have to get up and spend 75% of your time watching your diet and 25% of your time doing something active, exercise of some sort, to get those calories burning. Me, I determined I was going to go back to my roots. Marine Corps boot camp, infantry guy. I walk it off. I do power walking, and that's what helped me get to where I'm at now. I haven't done any diet plans. I didn't do any surgeries. And I've had friends do both, bariatric and lap band. Sometimes it works. Sometimes they go right back to where they were. The bottom line is, if you don't make the lifestyle change, if you don't change their habits in what you're eating and what you're doing, then nothing is going to change. So it's that time of the year. I think everybody needs to evaluate, how did 2017 go? How do I want 2018 to go? And what am I going to do to make those changes? As a personal trainer, I always want SMART goals. They've got to be specific. So I need to know, what do you want to do? Then don't just say, I want to lose weight. Say, I want to lose 20 pounds. It has to be measurable. So 20 pounds says exactly how much it is you're going to lose. And that's just so it's smart. You've got it specific. It's measurable. It's got to be attainable. You have to be able to do it. Right? It's got to be related to what you want to accomplish, and it's got to be time bound. So there has to be a time limit on it. So anytime that you're setting a goal, make sure it's a SMART goal, something specific that's time bound, something that this is what I'm going to accomplish and when I'm going to accomplish it by. And then reward yourself. Always. It doesn't have to be anything big. Night out. Taking the Mrs. or Mr. out for a celebration. Little things. Here in Southern California, Disneyland, Universal Studios, San Diego Zoo. Something fun. Something to give yourself a nice little perk when you get there. So, hit me up with some questions, you guys. I've got an awful lot of topics that I cover in Pushing Double Nickels. You can see the table of contents on Amazon. In fact, the first 30, 40 pages are on here, and anybody can have a look. And if you have something specific that you'd like to talk about, just let me know. Hit me up with a question. Challenge me. Huh? What do you think? Anybody? What do you got to say? Say hey now. Anybody want to do some more stretching? If so, we'll go ahead and get to work on some stretching right now. But I sure would like to answer some questions. You guys, hit me up. Challenge me. Otherwise, I want to remind everybody again, pets are not presents. Do not even consider giving a puppy or kitten to somebody for the holidays if it's not something they're expecting. Last thing you want to do is to hand somebody here's a 15 to 20 year responsibility. You have to take care of this little creature. You got to feed it. You got to take it to the doctor. It needs immunizations. You got to get its teeth cleaned. And you know what? It has all the same emotions that you do, except for one. Can anybody guess? And I'm an expert on dogs. I'm writing a dog book right now. It's coming out next year. Working title is All Dogs Cry. But can anybody guess what the one emotion is that I have yet to discover in dogs that's pretty prevalent in humans? Anybody? If anybody can guess what emotion that dogs, I have not found in dogs, or cats, or any other mammal for that matter, that humans have. If you think you know, message me. Let's see it on screen. One emotion that animals, I have yet to find in animals. I've seen them happy, I've seen them sad, I've seen them depressed, I've seen them elated, I've seen them angry, grumpy, grouchy. I think happy is probably the one that is most easily spotted, especially in dogs. How do you know when a dog's happy? He's wagging his tail. Come on, let's see who knows. Anybody? I'm putting on my glasses for this one, you guys. Come on, somebody guess. What is the one animal emotion that we don't share? Come on, who knows? Guess. I'll tell you what, I'll make this even a better offer for you. I will sign a hardback copy of my book and send it to whoever gets the question right. So whoever gets the question right, and I'll repeat it. There's one emotion that I have yet to find in dogs or cats that humans have. The one emotion that we don't share. Message me. If you don't want to guess it on chat, message me or email me, pushingdoublenickels@yahoo.com. And I will announce whoever says it first. Make sure I know where to send this, so I will sign it. I will get it out at my local UPS store, and you'll have it shortly. So, what emotion do dogs not share with us? Come on, tell me. Who wants to guess? Anyone? Otherwise, I am still here for any other questions that you might want to ask, whether it has to do with personal training, whether it has to do with general health. As a certified health coach and certified personal trainer, my scope of practice, and the reason I wanted to become the health coach, the personal trainer was prerequisite. The reason I wanted to become a health coach is to help people lose weight, quit smoking, get their nutrition in order, basically an overall scope. The health coach scope of practice, and we are HIPAA regulated under ACE certification, so anything that my clients share with me stays with me. I am fully HIPAA compliant with all privacy and regulations. So I do a lot of Skyping with my clients at BradSF007, at BradSF007, I believe is the Skype name. But my clients understand that when they talk to me, and I do have some clients that were where I was, they are now, in the heavy range. They want to lose the weight, not just because they want to lose the weight, but because they want to live longer. When my doctor hit me with that type 2 diabetes and said, and I was 250 pounds at the time and 30-year cigarette smoker, and my doctor says, well, you need to make some changes. If you don't lose some weight, get rid of the cigarettes, make some changes, then start picking out toes and fingers that you don't like, because they're going to go bye-bye. You won't see them anymore. And that's happened to friends of mine, and scared the heck out of me. And you go blind. He hit me up with a whole ball of wax of what happens when type 2 diabetes goes unmanaged and goes out of control. And at that point, at 250 plus pounds and still smoking and eating and everything and anything I wanted in any amounts and any quantities, I was completely out of balance, completely out of control. But that kind of hit me. I like my toes. I like my fingers. I like my vision. I don't want to lose any of that. So at 45, I had a choice. I had to make that decision. I had to quit cigarettes. I had to lose weight. I had to get in shape. I had to take control of my health. And believe me, when you're going from 0 on control scale to full diabetes control mode, there's a big gap in between. Just finding stuff that I could drink, because I drank Coke, you know, regular sugared Coke, and the sodas and fruit juices and everything sugared. And I had to switch over to the non-sugared, and I had to do it right away. And I had to find things that worked. So there was an awful lot of experimentation. Still, there's a lot of experimentation that goes on. When I find a product that I think might work, first thing I do, and naturally, this is just natural, I read every single label. I know exactly what is in that product. I know how many sugars, how much sodium, how much calories per serving, and they're very sneaky that way. Remember, when you're looking at a label, you need to look at how many servings they say are in that container. Because that is the number you need to multiply the numbers below by. So if you eat the entire package, you're not just eating that amount of calories that it says right there for a single serving. You have to multiply. Oh, there's 4 servings in this package at 120 calories each. So you didn't eat 120 calories. No, you ate 480 calories. So reading labels, reading nutrition labels is extremely important. Understanding that, again, 75% of your life should be dedicated towards watching your diet. 25% of your life should be moving, getting off your butt, not being sedentary. For me, 25 years in computers and information technology did not do me any favors. In the early days of computers, when things were a lot slower, and I go back to the 80s for this, when I got into computers, we would sit there on our bulletin board systems and we'd wait for a response. We'd send a message out and we'd wait half hour, hour or longer for a reply. Things did not move that quickly, and neither did we. And unfortunately, spending the entire day in the office, eating as I'm working on the computer, because when you're doing a job that you like, and I loved computers, I loved information technology. I mean, just had a blast with it. I was in training. New Horizons Computer Learning Centers for 13 years, for those of you who know them, and Quick Start Intelligence for almost another 13 years, with a stop as a director for public relations in between at an organization in Anaheim. But spending hour after hour working on the computers, and I'd go get my lunch, and I'd get a big lunch and bring it back to the office and just sit there and eat it. And by the time I was done at the end of the day, I'd go home and I'd eat some more, and guess what? I'd get back on the computer, and I'd be working on the computer again at home. It's something, when you love the job, you're going to do it. So now, at 58, I'm not in computers anymore. Now I'm a personal trainer, a certified personal trainer, a certified health coach. My specialties currently are helping people lose weight, quit smoking, get in shape, and generally, hopefully, improve their overall health and attitude. For me, I am a successful personal trainer, and especially a successful health coach, when I create you as your own personal trainer, your own health coach. So for me, when you no longer need me and you're succeeding at the balanced goals that we put in place, the SMART goals that we put in place, when you are attaining what you want to do on a regular basis, and for me, that's at least 6 months to a year. At 6 months, you should be able to continue doing what you're doing from my training and be your own health coach the rest of your life. Becoming healthy is a matter of lifestyle change, a matter of choices. Quitting smoking is also a matter of choice. You have to be ready. If you're not ready to give up that habit, it's not going to happen. Who was it? Mark Twain said, "Quitting smoking is easy. I've done it thousands of times." No, it's not. It's a habit. When you're smoking cigarettes, that nicotine is going into you constantly. Even the vapes. And vapes, I prefer, if you have to inhale nicotine, at least you're not getting the combustibles, the black tar stuff in the lungs. But getting rid of nicotine overall is what you want to do. And if you're going to quit smoking, do it the first time. I mean, what's the point? Seriously, what is the point in quitting smoking if you're just going to turn around 6 months, a year, 2 years later and pick it up again? I had my last cigarette July 15th, 2005. That's after starting in early 70s, 74, 73, as a teenager, and keeping that up through my entire adult life to 45. So, last cigarette, July 15th, and you bet I remember that date. Absolutely, because I cannot even stand the smell of them now. But the point is, I help other people get rid of them now on the first try. For me, there's absolutely no sense in doing something if, one, you don't do it right the first time, and I guarantee you that is a chapter in the book, Pushing Double Nickels. Do it right the first time. I mean, why waste your time going back and doing something you've already done again if you can get it right and do it the first time? Same thing goes with losing weight. And the seesaw effect, and I had it happen to me at least once. Long ago, in my early 40s, I knew I had to lose weight, and I've struggled with weight ever since my eldest son was born in 90. I was early 30s at that time, and my wife at the time put on 30 pounds, when she got pregnant and had our son. And I put on 35 pounds in sympathy weight, and she lost most all of hers in one day, and mine just hung on and continued getting bigger and bigger. So, hit me up, you guys. Questions. I want to know who wants to know any questions, and I'm also waiting for an answer from anybody. Hey, Baby Zeus, you want to quit? You let me know. All you got to do is email me at pushingdoublenickels@yahoo.com, and we'll set up a Skype session. And if you are serious about quitting smoking, I will help you. It's not a 5-minute process, but we can certainly get it done. If you're serious about quitting the cigarettes, I will help you. Now, I help people quit smoking for free. That's my community give back. Losing weight, personal training, all the other things, obviously I have to charge for. I got a roof to keep over my head, bills to pay, and animals to take care of. But you want to smoking, I will help you. Seriously, you message me in anything. Like I say, pushingdoublenickels@yahoo.com. Just email me and I will follow up. No, seriously, Baby Zeus, the cigarette smoking I do for free. That's my community give back. How about anybody figure out yet what emotion that we do not share with animals? What emotion I have yet to discover in any of the dogs or cats I've ever had, and I've had them all, big and small. I've had everything from Great Danes down to my current Chihuahuas, and these all are animal rescues. And let me say it again, pets are not presents. Anything that can cry, if it gets returned, should never be given as a present. Anytime somebody finds a puppy or kitten under their Christmas tree, I certainly hope it's something that they were expecting and wanting and ready to hang on to and take care of for 15 to 20 years, because that's exactly what it is. As a pet parent, that's a lifetime thing. You can't, it's not something you just give up. You can't just give away. They're like children. You just can't give them away. Anyhow, questions? Come on, hit me up with some questions, you guys. I'm going to go get some miles down here shortly. I do power walking every day. Well, 6 days a week I go power walking, and that allows me to keep my cardio at a very good range. Here's a question. Does anybody know what their resting heart rate is? Let's talk about some numbers before I finish today's session. I do want to talk about numbers with you, and these are important numbers. These are numbers that you need to work with and talk to your doctor about. In fact, some of the clients that I have currently that are clinically, obese, the BMI of 30 is considered obese. 35 or higher is mortally obese. I was at 38 BMI. My current BMI is 21 to 22. I'm between 6 and 8% body fat. Not bad for 58, I don't think. So the bottom line is you need to know things like your weight, obviously. You need to know what your cholesterol levels are, your triglycerides. You need to understand how lipids are affecting your system. Do you have high cholesterol? Are you on any kind of cholesterol medication? What's your blood pressure? Are you on blood pressure medication? If not, should you be on blood pressure medication? All of these things need to be discussed with your doctor. You need to find out what your A1C is, and that's your blood sugars. That is something that happens in a test you simply get in, anytime your labs done, and you should get your labs done at least once a year if you're non-diabetic, and once every 3 to 4 months, depending upon what your doctor schedules you for as a diabetic. Type 2 diabetic, I go in about every 90 to 120 days. Again, the A1C for me on my last was 6.1, 6.2. My goal in 2018 is to get closer to 5.8. With only a half-working pancreas now, thanks to my ruining my body and letting myself get up to 250 plus pounds, I didn't do myself any favors. The 30 years of cigarettes did not do me any favors. This old mug is quite evident. They had a thing on the TV a while back about twins, one who smoked, one who didn't. They were in England, a couple of gentlemen. And just in the facial features, just in the skin, and what the cigarette and tobacco does to the skin over long term, you could see the difference in those twins. It was striking, and of course it made me wonder. If I hadn't smoked for 30 years, maybe I wouldn't quite have this mug. But we live with the things that we must live with. Anyhow, I want to know if anybody has any questions. Has anybody figured out yet what emotion do dogs not have that we have? Think about it. Oh. This is a Chiweenie. Her name is Zoe. Zoe's now about 12. Yeah, Zoe's now about 12. Zoe's been with me since 2007. Zoe suffers from panic attacks. Percussive noises send her into an absolute fear. Zoe has all the emotions that I have. Happiness, sadness, she can be elated, she can be giddy. Jealousy is a major, major emotion in dogs, especially domestic dogs. And those of you who have more than one know this. But there's one emotion, and I've seen her mad, I've seen her sad, I've seen her happy, but there's one emotion that I have not seen from her or any dog I've ever had. And I've had dogs my entire life. My first dog was a German Shepherd. My second dog was a Chihuahua. Guess. Come on. What emotion? One emotion. Whoever gets this right is going to get a signed copy of Pushing Double Nickels. I'll send it out. Matter of fact, I'll sweeten the pot. Just because I want to know if anybody's willing to guess. What emotion? I'll throw in a copy of the new book coming out next year. All Dogs Cry. This is for dogs. Pushing Double Nickels, that was for people. First chapter is quitting smoking in that book. In fact, if you want to send me there, Babe Zeus, an email, I'll also send you the ebook for free. Chapter 1, you can just go off on yourself if you want. Or like I say, I'll Skype with you. I'll help you quit those cigarettes if you're serious. I cannot force someone or make someone want to quit smoking. They have to be ready to quit smoking here and here. By the time I got rid of those cigarettes, I was at the point where they were so disgusting to me, and it was part of my plan, obviously, that I was more than ready on the day I quit to start being a non-smoker. So by the time that day came, I was more than ready and more than happy to be getting rid of those cigarettes. Now remember, this was just a few months after I'd been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. So I was already working along, what am I going to do as far as my diet and what can I eat, what can I not eat. I did meet with a nutritionist at my doctor's suggestion, and portion sizes, were discussed. Deck of cards, that's what they recommend for, if you're going to have steak, it's got to be about the size of a deck of cards. Sorry, that doesn't work for me. So, to this day, even now, I eat what I want. I don't restrict myself on anything. I'll eat fast food once in a while. I replaced all of my margarine with butter. I don't eat anything except butter now. Take a look at what's in margarine. If you're going to have anything with saturated fat, one, let's make sure it's healthy. Okay, grass-fed. I recommend highly organic grass-fed, better organic grass-fed beef. If it's organic and it's grass-fed, your system is going to assimilate it much better. Anything else? Be careful. Moderation is always the key. When you're having issues with weight, and it's a big issue, I'll scare you with the numbers, guys. 2/3 of America is either overweight or obese right now. That's more than 200 million Americans out of 330 million of us. Right now, 70 million Americans have prediabetes. That means you're right on the verge. For me, I look at you guys as low-hanging fruit. You're the folks that I can get off of that list right away. Just losing 10% of your body weight, just 10% can get you off of that pre-diabetes list. Because you don't want to go from that list to the full-blown type 2 diabetes. Type 1 diabetes is normally reserved for teenagers, is usually when that occurs, and that's a very small percentage of the population who has diabetes. Right now, type 2 diabetes is an epidemic in America. I mean, 70 million Americans are pre-diabetic right now. So that's a scary thought to me. There's also still 45 million smokers out there. And every day, 1,700 teenagers begin. If I could put an end to that right now, I would. Because I was a teenager when I started smoking. I caved to the peer pressure. Thank you, Robert B. I won't say the last name. But I can remember specifically the day I had my first cigarette. It was a Cool. I was 13 years old and trying to be cool. And my neighbor upstairs, we were on base, Army base in Germany at the time. My father was Army, I was Marines. He got a pack of his father's Cools. And he thought it was cool that, we were going to smoke. And of course, from that point on, at age 15, I became a full-blown smoker, full-time smoker, and stayed that way till almost 46. No, excuse me, it was 46, because I quit right after my 46th birthday. So that was 2005. And haven't had a cigarette since. Nobody can get their health under control if you still smoke cigarettes. So with 15%, 12 to 15% of the adult population smoking, that's something we need to address. It's slower here than other countries, but that doesn't make it any better. And the obesity epidemic, I was caught up in it myself. I know what it's like. To me, there are times when I still see this person. Even more so, I'll show you again. The driver's license picture from 2004, 2005. Here. Let me get it up to the camera here. There we go. That was 250 pounds, about 252 at the time. So I didn't do myself any favors, believe me. And the worst part is, and I didn't learn this till after I lose the weight, your face looks older. Simply because you got all that chumminess out, all the chumminess goes away, so you get a few more wrinkles. That's okay. They say wrinkles build character, right? All right, anybody got any questions? Hit me up with a challenge or two. Anybody figure out what emotion dogs don't share that we do? That us humans have? Or cats. I've yet to find that emotion in cats either. Although cats don't like to show their emotions an awful lot. Not physically anyway. Verbally, yeah, they're pretty talkative. All right, Baby Zeus. I'm going to wait for you to send me a message, and I will help you quit those cigarettes. Anybody else have any questions? Hit me up now. Otherwise, I'm going to be heading out the door. I got to get my mileage done today, you guys. Let me remind you, pets are not presents. Also, if you work for a living, get it? You work for a living? What I'm trying to say is if you sit down on the job, mostly, if you're sedentary, if you work in an office, if you work in any kind of situation where you have to be in a sitting situation for any length of time, do yourself a favor. Get up every 30 minutes and stretch. Seriously. You want to save yourself building in lordosis, sway back, because long hours of being sedentary and sitting are not only going to harm your health physically as far as your back, but also your heart. It's not going to help with your cholesterol levels, your weight. Being sedentary, just sitting constantly, that's what's really going to build up over time. And just doing a little exercise a few hours a week is not going to counteract the effects of being sedentary all the time. So remember, being healthy is the 75-25 rule. 75% is your diet, what you're putting into your body, and 25% is what you're doing exercise-wise and being non-sedentary to be effective. Anybody that has any questions that I can help with, I'm always answering emails. You can hit me up on any of my social links. Feel free to connect with me any way you want. Whoever does send me the first correct answer on what emotion dogs and humans do not share, at least in my opinion, I am going to sign a personalized hard copy of Pushing Double Nickels. It's up there. And I will send it out. So make sure, if you're the one, I'll let you know you were the winner. You got the correct answer, and I'll tell you what. I'll even announce it we're not going to be doing anything tomorrow, Christmas, but the day after Christmas, I'll be back on here for our morning stretch and discussion, and I will let the folks know who are watching who won if somebody gets it right. So let me check one more time, just in case somebody decided to be brave and put it on screen. What I'm asking is, what emotion do you think we don't share with dogs and cats? What emotion do we have, humans have, that they don't share? Because I guarantee you they share pretty much every other emotion. Any creature with a limbic system, any mammal, for instance, has emotions and feelings. All right, anybody? Nobody gonna guess? All right. Well, I appreciate you guys watching today. I hope I will see you again tomorrow. In the meantime, you guys have any questions, let me know. I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. I have my Festivus poll ready, and we're going to be getting on with the challenge the household. I forgot the rules of Festivus. You guys will have to remind me. In the meantime, you guys have yourselves a happy and healthy day. Hang on. I got it. Windows is reminding me on my screen. How nice. You guys have a happy and healthy day, and get up and move, please. Exercise. Stand up. Move around. Do anything that makes you feel good. That's the important key, and we'll talk about this again later. One of the keys to success in being healthy, especially when it comes to exercise, is finding out what you like to do. Then it's something you'll do every day. See? So, one of the keys. Anyhow, guys, Merry Christmas. Be safe. Don't drink and drive. And remember, lastly, pets are not presents. Bye, y'all.